All right, welcome to what's Funk doing in the barn here in terms of this canoe. So we've had some cold snaps here, single digits, double digits. It's pretty cold here in Colorado. So I had to take some time off gluing because you really have to be at about 50 plus degrees in order to get the glue to cure. So we're going to try and do a couple more strips. You'll notice that we're starting to get around on the curve now. I have brought in 1/4 inch bungee cord. In Mac's book, he talks about how to actually take these and wrap them around so that you're able to pull down tight on that. Ingenious idea, cheap material, highly effective in terms of being able to pull this down, especially as we start going around the curve, because you can only get so much work with a clamp. So we're going to go put on a couple of more strips, and then we'll let them dry for the next snowstorm that's due in tomorrow. So let's get cracking and let's get working. All right. So you can see it's kind of time consuming with just one person trying to get this all done. And one of the tricks that I have found is clamping it at the bow or stern. And then from there, start working it around. And you saw it's pretty difficult in order to get this really to bend and get set into that groove with it. So time, take the patience, don't rush through it because that's where mistakes happened. And I've had a couple of those on each end. So as you're working on that, that'll be a huge key issue. Also, I'm finding that when I do my cuts, when it's up above, I actually do a whole width of this board that I cut on. And then when it comes back down in, it seems to be aligned up much, much better than trying to cut otherwise. So those are some of the mistakes that I've made that seem to, make a difference. Cut on the outside of your board when it's on top and you're trying to do that lap back and forth. This one turned out fairly decent. The other side, a little bit, but those were some of the tricks. And you can see that with the cords, they allow a lot of flexibility in terms of where you're applying pressure and so forth. And like I said, 50 feet of cord. Each of these cords are cut at 3 feet. And then the little blocks with 2 holes, not on the other side, allows you to crank these down pretty snug. It does a really nice job for flexing on that curve. And then right now I'm just using clamps on the ends, but I'll probably have to stop using these as I come up around the edge. And again, this is my concern here. How am I going to have it nice and flush for when we get up to the top? So we'll continue working on this. One thing that I did forget to mention, you'll notice that I'm not using any nails in order to secure this down. It's a little risky doing that, and that's why I keep going back, double checking for movement and so forth. I'm going to let this set for a couple hours before I come back in and do another another strip. So yes, it takes longer in order to strip your canoe this way. But again, because I've already got so many beetle kill holes that I've got to fill up, the last thing I wanted to do was take care of more holes. So that's why I'm doing it this way, and it takes more time. But I think it'll be better in the long run.